Is available here in the A final, and what a race in the middle of the course here.
Full lineup for this first semi-final: Spain, South Africa, Croatia, Italy, Serbia and Belarus. Replaying the start here.
Well, looking at the Croatians and the Italians, it's hard to take your eyes off those guys in the centre lanes. I just reminded of that race back in Sarasota in 2017, that magical race where Lotto and Vicino, the Italians, tracked the Croatians all the way through. And in that race, the Italians led off about a second, sorry, the Croatians led off about a second up on the Italians at the 500. They extended that lead at 1,000 and 1,500 to 2.5 seconds, and then the Italians charged back.
Well, the same sort of thing looks to be happening again here, Martin, but will the Italians be able to charge back? This is just the semi-final, that was the final, and the Croatian Sinkovic brothers had the lead at 500 gone. As you can see, they're just holding that lead at 1,000 gone, but the Italians are pretty well with them, as are that was the Serbian pair, wasn't it?
Yeah, Serbian pair is in a good third place at the moment, and the Spanish, well, they're in a good fourth place at the top of your screen. Jaime Canalejo and Javier García Ordinez, the Spanish pair coached by Dani Rodriguez Verdu. But this pair, well, they've had to race one more time than the Croatians because they had that rescheduled race where the Polish crew broke their blade. Is this where it's going to count for them, and are they going to keep their powder dry for the final?
Yeah, let's see what happens with the Italians. I'm just watching the Spanish crew up there in lane one as they sneak ahead of Serbia. They've put on a real push here through this third quarter, and it's been effective for them. They're at 39 strokes a minute. The Spanish pair is just taking their bow ball ahead of Serbia.
Yeah, I think it's a really good call, Kat, as we have a look here about this third qualifying place, and the Spanish pair look to be putting a bit of pressure onto the Italians and moving smoothly ahead of the Serbians. And let's not count out that South African crew as well. Could still make a significant move. We've got 500 to go. Only 3 will make it through to the A final.
The Spanish pair took a bronze medal in the Europeans behind Croatia that won the race. And the Serbians, well, that is a look across there from Martin Makovic, the Serbian in the bow of that boat. And absolutely desperate straits for the Serbian coming into the last quarter of the race, because they are now being rowed through by John Smith and Lawrence Britton, the South Africans, who are about a length behind the Spanish. If you're watching this rowing presentation from South Africa, we hope you're enjoying it. Croatia out leading your boys in fourth place and trying to track through for a place in the AB semi-final and Olympic qualification.
Well, I'll tell you who is enjoying this race, and that is the Croatian supporters down in front of us in that red and white check t-shirt and hats. They're seeing their crew at the head of the field, holding just about a length over the Italians, who need to start charging now. But the Spanish, how about this, the fastest boat on the course?
Yes, yeah. Spain are making a come for it now. They've got the Italians in sight. They're up at 41 strokes a minute. Italians also 41 strokes a minute.
This is where that extra race is going to come into play, isn't it? The legs in the Italians, they will be questioning whether they do want to sprint to put all that lactic acid into their legs, and the Spanish are going for it.
Well, I think it might come into their legs. They've got to keep it out of their heads. They can't afford to make themselves say, we've done an extra race. The reality is these athletes are very well trained. They've had an extra day of rest because these semi-finals were put back. How about this sprint from the Spanish? 48 strokes a minute.
South Africans still in there in fourth place. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4 you can see. The race for second and third. Spain at the top of your picture, Italy at the bottom of your picture, the wake of the Croatia coming through to the line, the last 10 strokes of this race.
Well, Croatia look like they're in control for sure. The Italians are trying to dig deep, but they've had to dig deep before in this regatta already. They're trying to hang on to that second qualifying place. Croatia get first. I think this one's going to be too close to call. It could have just been Italy and then Spain punching the air in the Spanish boat, and disappointment for the South African pair.
Spanish are overjoyed. Did you see that reaction from them as they crossed the line? Absolutely delighted.
Yes, strokeman Javier García Hernandez just celebrating and lying straight down in the boat. These guys know they've won. They're
waving at us. They're blowing kisses to the supporters down in front of our little commentary position here, who are shaking those rattles around. And how about this for the Spanish pair? They made the A final last year in 2018. You can see how much it means to make the A final in 2019. It means you've booked that qualifying place for the Tokyo Olympics.
Absolute delight for the bowman of the Spanish boat here. And here they are, these are Croatian supporters just in front of us with their rattles, their matching hats and shirts, still cheering on the win for these guys. And confirmation, Croatia, Sinkovic brothers taking that A final Olympic qualification for them, 6 minutes 27 seconds, with the Italians